Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. I am Zarkoon, and today I've got a battle for you in the Richelieu. But first I want to go over my commander build here. Alright, so I just got Emile Guepratte. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And I'm trying him out on the French battleships. And the Richelieu is the one that I'm using to test him out. You see I've got him at level 9 here. I've got Charles Madden, who's at level 8, as an inspiration in order to increase the traverse speed of the turrets and reduce the main battery load time, which is what I am trying to do with this build. So tier 1 here, we got the Brawler, which does reduce the range of the battleship, and I'm not sure that this is the best thing to do with the Richelieu, but you know, you'll see the game. So right now reduces the reload time of the battleship by 8%. And then tier 2, we've got the traverse speed of the guns. Tier 3, the Megalomania perk, which reduces the battleship's main gun reload time by another 5%. Took the repair party reload time and repair party charges buff, or repair party extra charge, rather than the range, because I think that'll be nice. And then legendary skill, amount of HP recovered. So now that you've seen the build, let's get into the battle. Alright, so we've got a battle here on the map North, and we have spawned to the north of the ACAP. So now my range is reduced. If I am running Jaugeard in place of Guepratte, I can shoot, I think, 19 kilometers, and with this one I think I've got just under 17 kilometers, so I want to get a little bit close, which I think is counterintuitive to what you would think you would want to do with this ship, and maybe it is, but I've had a little bit of success, I'd say, with this build here. And you're going to see what happens. Now, I am probably overextending myself here, but I am making sure that initially what I wanted to do was head to B. But I want to get this island right here between me and the enemy ships that are inevitably going to spawn by A. Reason I want to go to B is because a lot of people seem to discount it in this map. Maybe not so much on tier 7, but definitely in the lower tiers. They tend to go for either C or A. They don't want to go in the middle. So first target here, we've got an enemy Amagi, and he is broadside. He disappears just as we take the shot, so I'm not sure if I was still locked onto him or not, but do hit him for 12,000 damage there. Not a Citadel, but definitely not a bad first salvo. Now we're taking fire from the Gneisenau over there, so I want to kick it into gear, activate the speed boost, and head towards this Amagi, put the island between me and the Gneisenau. Now, one thing I have to say, I've got the hull upgrade on the Richelieu now, and if you've watched my video of the Salty Kraken Richelieu review or whatever, you'll know that I remarked that the Richelieu was the first battleship in the French tech tree line to come with a plane. So yeah, the base Richelieu comes with a plane, but once you put the hull upgrade on, the plane is gone in favor of, I think, more anti-aircraft guns or more secondaries, which, frankly, in my opinion, is a rather useless trade-off, because the secondaries to begin with aren't that effective anyway, so whatever. But the AA guns are entirely useless in a game with no carriers. What are you supposed to use them against? Enemy spotter planes? Oh boy. I mean, come on. Like, what kind of trade-off is this? If Wargaming isn't going to add carriers, which a lot of people don't want them to do in this game, which fine, I don't really care either way, but if they're not going to add carriers, then they have to not do things like this, where you trade your plane for AA guns. And the plane is infinitely more useful than the AA guns in this game. I mean, you know, it spots enemy ships. It can spot torpedoes for you from further out. Much, much more useful. But, alright, I've enough of my rant here. Back to the game. So I noticed there's a Gneisenau over there, so I don't really want to go out past this island in case he decides to shoot at me, because I would be giving him broadside. This Amagi is in a full retreat. He was shooting HE at me, and he has lit me on fire. And now I am taking HE shots from a cruiser to my port side. Judging by the rate of fire, what do you think it is? Oh, that's right. It's an Atlanta. Evil. Awful. HE spamming little ship. Alright, well. Goodbye. Sitting at the perfect angle for me to just punch right through his armor, have my shells arm, and citadel him to death. 20,000 damage. That's it. Lights out. Goodbye. Alright, back to the Amagi. So he's still sailing away, and he is getting perilously close to the end of my firing range. But the Gneisenau has been taken out, so I feel a lot more comfortable moving up. He is still firing what appears to be HE at me, but all of his shots miss, thanks to my tiny little maneuver. And he is about to give up firing at me. His guns are pointed away now. But there was a second Atlanta behind that island, and he is not about to give up on me. There he is, being an annoying little evil HE spamming ship. So we're going to try and do the same thing we just did to his friend over there. But he is going to back up behind the island, and about 2 shells are going to hit him and overpen him. So he is not being as reckless as his recently departed friend. Oh, and I haven't even talked about the reload speed of the guns on this. I think with the Madden inspiration and the Brawler perk and the Megalomania perk, the reload speed on these guns are down to let's see how many seconds once I get another shot off. Keep that in mind. And we'll see how many seconds it takes for the main guns to reload. I think it's like 22 seconds. So if I continue to pour promotion orders into Guepratte, which is not my top priority, then I should be able to get it down even further. And that is definitely a good thing with this ship. I mean, it's got limited guns. They're all in the front. And I think having them reload quicker is quite a useful thing. But, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just, I don't know, it's a thing that I just want to play around with. Now, this Atlanta is behind the island, and he is detecting me with radar, so he knows exactly where I'm going. He's got torpedoes, so he can use the indicator to understand what my path is. Alright? And I know he's going to come around this island, and he's probably going to be in range to torpedo me. So I am kicking it into reverse. There he is. And shoot him. And I think the secondaries, yep, there they go. Look at that. They took out his torpedo launcher. So he had not launched torpedoes at that time. I think he was waiting to get a better shot, but it's too late, and now the secondaries destroy his torpedo launcher. So secondaries can, you know, they can save you. And they were getting fair chunks of damage off of him. So, I mean, there's that. So I guess that's kind of nice. Now he's going to come around the corner again, giving me an angle, and that angle allows me to citadel him and take him out. So there's 2 Atlantas taken out in this game. There you go. Look at me. I am doing God's work here. Killing these evil, satanic, pesky little cruisers with their fiery, infernal, HE spamming ways. Yeah. Look, I hate Atlantas. They're evil. But if I could get one, believe me, I would. Anyway, state of the game here. We've got about 3 enemy ships left, and we are obviously going to win this one. So now the only question is who's going to finish off these final enemy ships. And I think here I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in the battle. I don't know where any of them are. There is a battleship in the sea cap, an enemy, and that is a Gneisenau, I believe, but he is going to be taken out in short order. I do know where the last known position of our old friend the Amagi was, so that is the way I am going to head. So we're going to cut a little bit now, because nothing happens except for me heading toward that Amagi. So there he is, way out there. Head toward the map border. Gonna fire HE at him, excuse me, in an attempt to start a fire, get the damage up, and alright, next salvo. I said I was gonna call out the reload time of the guns, and I still haven't done that, which is almost the whole point of doing this build. So there it is, 22 seconds. And that can get a lot lower. This Guepratte guy has he's got almost like a double brawler build with the brawler trait that reduces the reload time and the range of the guns, and also the megalomania perk, which is unique to the French battleships, which, it reduces the reload time again, and it reduces the time it takes the detectability to go down to normal after firing the main guns, which I still advocate you use on the French battleships, whether you have Guepratte or Jaugeard. I would use that trait, especially on the battleships lower tiers than this, the Lyon and probably the Normandy especially. They are very squishy ships, whereas, this Richelieu is a lot better armored. It can tank a lot more damage. Those ships really cannot, so you want to kind of play them at range anyway, even though their penetration certainly does fall off, at range. But you don't really want to get shot a whole lot in those ships, so I like to play them at range, and I like to minimize the damage I take by angling and by staying well away from enemy ships. I don't think Guepratte would necessarily be a great commander for the lower tier French battleships, but he seems to be a plausibly effective commander for this ship. And you can see we're at about 109,000 damage here, which is not like, anything insane or crazy or anything, but it's taking out those 2 Atlantas in the way we did, and outplaying that Amagi right off the bat, forcing him to retreat to the edge of the map after taking him away about half of his health. That was alright. And the 22-second reload on these guns definitely was useful in this game, despite the fact that the range was lower. And now nothing else is going to happen. I am trying to find the enemy destroyer with the hope of finishing him off before the clock runs out. He has capped C, and so I assume he is heading towards B, so I'm going to turn in that direction because he may come around the corner any second. I may have time to get a shot off on him. Probably not, but, here's hoping. 21 seconds left in this game. It's not looking likely. I am spotted. That means he did come out in this section, so I was correct in my anticipation of his next move, but I don't know where he is. There's 3 seconds left. Oh, there's the shells coming at me, but it's too late. They don't even hit me. Game ends. And that's that. Well, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel here. I've got a lot of World of Warships content coming all the time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.